Hello, this is Jack Jackson. In this video we're going to be talking about some basic concepts of measurement. So first we're going to start talking about the idea of dimension and measurement in each of these dimensions. So first of all we start with the point. That has 0 dimensions. So notice that a point there's basically nothing to measure other than the location of the point because it has no size and takes up no space whatsoever. So even the notation that we have for it here with the dot is a misnomer because that actually looks like it has some actual size to it, whereas a point is only a location. But when we go into one dimension, we can talk about a line segment. We can take a point and move it in one direction out a unit length. And so we have a unit length there, and say for example 1 unit might be a centimeter, for example. And we have all kinds of different units for length. We have meters, we have centimeters, we have inches, feet, yards, miles, all kinds of different units. But 1 unit there is the unit length. And so basically the point can only move in one direction and its opposite, like east-west. And so this is called one dimension. And if we want to measure the length of a curve, say a straight line, we want to take this unit length and lay it on here a number of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this case. So that makes the length of that curve, that line segment, 6 units. Okay, and of course this is dynamic, so if I want to change that to 4 units, I can do that by just typing in that box, and now it's only 4 units long. Now sometimes we'll have a curve that's not a straight line, and so you want to think of this unit length as maybe a piece of wire or something that we could bend along the path. Now when we get to 2 dimensions, we take our unit line segment here, and then we move the line segment perpendicular to itself, and we get our unit of measurement in 2 dimensions is a square. And so we want to see how many squares, think of these as little tiles that will fit on a surface. And the number of those tiles then is the area of that. So if we're measuring in centimeters over here for length, we might be measuring in square centimeters, or how many of these 1 by 1 square tiles will fit on there. So if we have a region like this, notice this has 5 columns and 3 rows. That has a total of 15 of these little squares. So these squares will fit on there. 1, 2, 3, so forth. 15 altogether. Okay. Now this, we can, of course, leads us to a nice formula for area of a rectangle. We'll talk about in just a few minutes. Okay, let's extend this on one more dimension. So we've moved our point along in one direction, a unit length, so that's our unit for measuring in one dimension. In 2 dimensions we can not only move, we can move 2 ways, basically north-south as well as east-west. And now in 3 dimensions we take our unit square and we move that perpendicular to the square in a 3rd direction, say not north, south, east, or west, but upward. Okay, and so now we can move in 3 directions, north, south, east, west, and then up, down. And so this makes a little cube, is what we call that shape. Okay, it has 6 square faces there, and that's called a cube. Okay, and what we want to do with a 3-dimensional region like this is we want to see how many of those cubes that we can get will stack up inside of this. Well, notice across the bottom, or across the top here, we've got 3 deep, and then it has 6 wide here, so that's 18 across the top, and then we have 4 stacks of those, so it's really 4 times 3 times 6, or 72 square or cubic centimeters. So if this is whatever unit of length we use for our line segment, we have square of those units for tiles for our measuring area, and cube of those units for measuring volume in cubes. So those are the basic that's the basic idea of dimension, 0, 1, 2, and 3-dimensional objects, and how we measure them by length, area, and volume.